belief in me was really what I think helped me to rise to those levels. Even if I had a bad game, he would still play me. I wasn't that immediate success in college. I had a 7-game dry spell. There was no reason he needed to start an 18-year-old boy. He just gave me that belief. He believed in me. It wasn't something specifically he said. He let my development take its natural course.
Yeah.
He was monitoring from a distance. I had the most goals in the playoffs. I was the most productive player on the team at 18. So that's why what Jeremy Gunn saw in me as a 15-year-old boy, he saw the 18-year-old version of me. And that's what manifested. And how it manifested was because he knew what my skill sets were. And the system that he was building, I was perfect for that system. So basically he took my tools and perfected his system that would enhance other players around me and their skill level. So I was making players around me better in order, or I guess by me making those runs, by me being dangerous, by me being busy, by me being tenacious and not stopping and kept going, and my stamina was just relentless. That's what made my wingers better. That's what made my number 8s better. That's what made my center backs having to defend less because their defenders had to defend more. And it just helped my team. And basically what happened was that I had a really, really fast rise in college, and I immediately got into the top of the names in college soccer. And like, just to mention a few, Will Trapp, which is a huge footballer. He's a big name in MLS. DeAndre Yedlin was in my class. He obviously U.S. international, went to the World Cup, huge name in U.S. soccer. Yeah, and there were others that were a little bit older than me that currently, are having amazing careers and didn't have that same rise or that same profile in college. So yeah, it's not really about like how good you are in a certain period of time. Like everybody can have a brilliant season, like that one-hit wonder, but it's about consistency. It's about consistently performing at that level, and if it's not exactly at that level, somewhere close to it. So I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No, yeah, I just want. With that being said, Jeremy Gunn, seems like a visionary, great coach, like you said. But I think him seeing that in you is very interesting, and I want to compare it to what we got going on, and just maybe coaches are watching, some advice for them, and just kids as well. But as a young player, when he saw you at 15, did he do anything specific that you remember to continue grooming you, keep you on that path? Any type of specific advice he gave you, specific quotes that really stuck in your head and led you to that rise? Because as we see, you're just going up. You're just continuing to go up. And with that being said, did he say it? Did you have any other mentors in your ears saying it? Because like we said, 14 to 18 is huge.
Yeah.
So if we could give them some advice,
yeah.
Do you remember anything specific?
Well, I just really remember him, telling me and my parents throughout the recruiting process about like my skill sets, about what separates me from the rest and what makes me so attractive to him, and how he can integrate that into his system. So basically his belief in me was really what I think helped me to rise to those levels, because even if I had a bad game, he would still play me. If I scored, obviously he would play me, but it wasn't like, and I wasn't that immediate success in college. I had a 7-game dry spell, my first 7 games in college, and 7 games is a lot in college. 7 games is about a third of the regular season. So you play about approximately, depending on conference and depending on which conference and depending how many out of conference games you play, like it really depends on your schedule, but rule of thumb, you usually play around 18 to 20 games in college. So 7 games was a lot. I had a dry spell, and that's from the first game of the season to the 7th, and I finally scored on my 7th, and I started that game, and I hadn't scored in 6 games, and there was no reason he needed to start an 18-year-old boy, that he has veteran players on the bench, like that already have 4 years of experience, or a 5th-year senior that had an ACL injury or something coming back from injury. He could have played the experienced players, but he just gave me that belief. He believed in me.
Yeah.
And if I was scoring, if I was not scoring, he saw that my off the ball work was helping others and making others better. And I guess to the question specifically, it wasn't something specifically he said. He let my development take its natural course.
Yeah.
He was monitoring from a distance, and he never hands-on did anything. He just said, "That's what I like, and this is what I like, and this is how I see you integrated in my system." And it was basically the simplicity behind it. It was never forced. There was no manipulation. It just took the relationship between us took its natural course. And his consistency in terms of his words, like, saying like, this was a good run, this was a good game, this was a good action, when I was at 15 through 18, led to me continuing those habits from 3 years into college, which made me successful. And with that speaks a lot about Jeremy and on him being truthful to me. He was being honest on when I could improve and when I couldn't. But when I was doing well, he was being honest. Like, this is what I like, this is what I see. And it was truly his belief. So that's what I felt. It's a feeling. It's body language.
Sure.